Hi there, welcome to my channel. It's Christy here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. There's a link in the description box to find out your Moon and Rising sign if you want additional messages for the week Cancer. This is a general reading for the week of June 6th to the 13th. There are links to the cards I'm using as well as to my ebook and a description about why I do what I do. I'm going to switch it up a little bit like I have been using a different deck and a different spread for the central spread. I'll be using the Healing with the Angels Oracle for the main spread this week just because we've been doing a lot of questioning and a lot of soul searching these past few weeks. And I wanted to spend a little time this week in particular doing some healing manifestation and some healing work. So we'll be using this for our 3-card spread and then drawing, of course, additional messages from the Medicine Card Tarot and the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot. So Cancer, I wish for you all success, joy, and wellness. I invoke spirits of love, light, and beauty. I call upon Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. I ask that Gaia please bless this reading for Cancer. So Cancer, when I say general reading, I simply mean that whatever is most prominent in your life this week, I encourage you to apply these messages to. And it could be travel, it could be family, healthcare, etc. So hopefully this will make a difference for you in a healing capacity this week, Cancer. So already in your central position, we have Archangel Michael. This is such a beautiful card to have, particularly as a central card. It means that either you have something, a need that requires assistance from a higher plane, and if you don't have an earth angel, you can certainly look to the archangels for help, or you can look to an earth angel. You probably know someone on earth who can assist you with something if there are trying times this week. On the other hand, if you have thanks to give, if you have been reaching for something and you do feel supported, you've been reaching through spiritual channels, for example, or you've been calling upon your own personal guardian angels, of which we all have. You could be this week noticing that your concerns are being handled, that your concerns are being heard, and that you are being assisted. I would really genuinely keep the faith this week, Cancer. If there are any issues, we're going to look at another qualifier here. We'll speak to this in a moment. However, no matter what this is addressing for you this week in particular, in a general sense, it's really important to take the message of faith and trust here around this prayer or set of prayers or overarching concern this week, because I do really feel like prayers are going to be answered this week. It's just that trust is necessary, and faith, and having enormously intense good feelings around the projection of this awareness or the projection of this prayer, okay? Definitely issues of faith here and trust. So please keep the faith. Please stay positive about this. We'll look at these cards up close in just a moment. I'm going to look at the card to the side. We have a couple there, so I'm going to keep shuffling. We have the card Children. There's 2 ways to read this, no matter how it shows up. Certainly not everyone has children of their own, but we know someone who has a child, okay? In our lives recently, currently, or in the recent past, or you even remember your own self as a child. This is a really important message here on one way or the other in and of itself, this one card, and then we'll look at it in relation to the other cards. Number 1, if there are other children around you, or if this is about your children or children in general, this is about the spirit of childhood and about the care of this child or children. Wow. This is just just, wow, really happy to see this. Okay, and it's about, it's kind of like, I'm not trying to call it the death of the ego. I'm going to suggest, though, that there is a suspension of the ego. Anytime that we are involved with or are around children, or just see them play, okay? Even if you're watching them on TV, or like I said, if they're not in your life, but you remember them or the way that they play, there is this sense of innocence is so profound because it eradicates ego, right? Innocence versus ego this week. Please, if you will, contemplate those conditions or matters or even that terminology. I think this will assist you this week, Cancer. The other part of this card, the other interpretation, even of itself as a standalone, is that you look at your inner child, okay? That you respect and honor and cherish and care for your inner child. This is really important for all human beings, but for some reason this week, this is really important for you. To remember how important this is, to remember this sense of innocence, this sense of discovery, this sense of curiosity, right? And the difference between, here's another set of terms I want you to contemplate this week, this sense of childish versus childlike, okay? There is a really nice but important distinction between both of those. If you feel like you're being met with childishness this week, I wouldn't stand for that. No one has time for that. But if you're met with, and if you encourage childlike behavior, like I said, inquisitiveness, curious, this sense of discovery, this sense of innocence, versus ego, I think that this will be truly a week of elevation, of emotional elevation for you, Cancer. So this is really beautiful to see. And then to the other side of the Archangel Michael, this is beautiful. We have the card Nature. Like, all of these cards on their own are really powerful and really beautiful. They're gentle, beautiful, powerful. And it's, boy, I wish that this, the constructed environment that we've, live in, it's not the earth that's fake, it's this construction around us that's fake. And I'm talking about the terms powerful innocence, right? Or, powerful gentleness. It's almost like they're at odds, they're incongruent, but they're not. Like, innocence is really extremely powerful. And if someone is trying to steal this from you, or you feel like there's any energy sucking around this type of innocence or discovery making, or uh, um, being childlike, I would, steer away from that. I think that that's an energy suck. Don't let anyone do that. And then find peace and awareness and joy and reflection and connection in nature this week, especially for you. Cancer is going to be incredibly healing. And there might even be some deep, deep questions and concerns for you answered there. I'm just genuinely excited at this reading for you. I just think it's so beautiful. I recently, I am a Cancerian myself. I went for a walk over this past weekend, and this just speaks to me so intensely. So I really genuinely hope that this speaks to you. If you have reached out for guidance or assistance through a higher power, or you've been saying prayers about children or your own inner child, even if you don't know these children, even if these are about children or youth in faraway places who suffer because of war or famine or disease or from any outside influence, and you're simply saying a prayer or want the best for those children, I think that you're doing a beautiful thing, Cancer, and I think that those prayers are going to be heard. I think that you are reaching this state of pure intention, is reaching higher levels of spiritual awareness. Okay, this is what I'm getting here from you, Cancer. Whew, from these cards. Please don't give up if you feel like, for whatever reason, that these prayers aren't being answered. So quote unquote fast enough for you, please don't give up. Please keep reaching out. Reach to a higher source. Hear whatever that source is for you. Archangel Michael, if you're not a spiritually inclined individual, whatever, maybe nature is your God. Okay, maybe this is another way of looking at it. Maybe you could say a prayer to, the nature gods, or to source who is responsible for nature. Okay, and not a lot of people, for whatever reason, and I get it, want to put a name or a face to God, and that's cool too. But please don't give up is what I'm trying to say, because this is a really important prayer, and this is really prominent and important for, I'm going to say here, like humanity. Like, this is a big deal. And I say that even if it's not because the projection is about humanity, it's because any level of healing for an individual human being, any level of healing creates ripple effects for the masses. Okay, so anything you do at a small scale, like I said, whether this is about your own children, children that you care about that you don't know, like I said, in other places in the world, or your own inner child. This is about discovery, innocence, beauty, and joy, and about being childlike. It is about putting innocence and expression in front of ego. Okay? If the ego is up against something this week, I would say a prayer and let it go. Say goodbye to it. Let it die. Let that ego die a shaman's death this week, Cancer, because you will be free of something huge, huge. And again, just, I'm nearly speechless at how beautiful this is. So beautiful. Please, if you can, at least one time this week, make sure you spend, and I mean conscious time in nature. I don't mean, hurrying to get something done and you have to walk down a path in nature. I'm talking, you're making intention to spend time in nature, and you're slow, and you're touching trees, and you're picking flowers if you like, spending time around water, etc. Make this a portion of your life this week, Cancer, and I think that you will just feel lighter, and you'll feel more connected, and you will just feel happy. And I think that you will ultimately, even if it isn't something you feel right away, I don't even think that's going to be important to you. I think this is a long-term manifestation process for you, a long-term healing, long-term outcomes, right? We can't just stop a war right away. We can't stop disease right away. But what we can do is start saying prayers and start talking about what those are doing, how that is affecting innocent people. Start a dialogue around healing, around getting to the root of suffering, and then doing what it takes to find cures for, or changes in that behavior in order to stop those death machines, right? Anything that kills the spirit is a death machine. So I think, my Cancerian friends, I think you had enough. And God love ya. I have too. And good. Good. It's about time, right? So let's just get another card here from the Medicine Card Tarot for an additional message. No matter what this feels like, though, this week, like I mentioned briefly, if this isn't manifesting, quote unquote, for you right away, please don't give up. Keep saying these prayers. Keep calling on Source or your guardian angel or a higher angel. It could be Mother Mary. It could be Archangel Michael. And like I opened the reading with several different archangels, you can even research an archangel that appeals to you. There's lots of saints, for example, that people find appeal to them. You don't have to be archangels. They can be, St. Peter, or my mom prays to, I forget the one that with the rose, but anyway, lots of different ones that you can pray to, so don't feel stuck. And any second here, we're going to get a card from this deck for you. It is taking its good old time getting a card for you. I think this reading is just so beautifully complete, to be honest with you, that if we don't get a jumper here, I'm going to pull from the deck. We're going on about a minute of shuffling. So let's do 3 more times. If I don't get a card, I will pull from them. Wow. What? Let's take the top one of that. So here we have the card Bear. Its keyword is introspection. I think this is generally just asking you to stay focused on what it is that you truly want to occur from this prayer or from this project or from this intention. It could mean simply meditation, but going in, not taking no for an answer, finding out new ways, gentle ways, even fun ways of keeping this dream alive, keeping this intention alive. And just a beautiful way to close the reading, Cancer, is the go the distance. This is something that you have, you're really dedicated to this. So keep it up, because you have no plans on quitting. And just imagine right now, if every Cancerian around the world was saying these prayers around children or childlike behavior or innocence, how big of a difference we could make in the world if we all achieved that. So thank you so much for making that an intention in your life, and for being so sweet and considerate, and for being willing to do what it takes to get to the next level of this type of freedom from tyranny. So that went on a bit too long. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe for your weekly readings, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, Cancer.